What is up, Colts Nation? I'm Josh Hudgens with the Common Colt Podcast, and boy, oh boy, do we have a fun episode today. If you haven't heard, Jim Irsay has released a letter to the Colts fans stating that Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen are returning for the 2025 season, which has caused, let's just say, a little bit of chaos amongst Colts fans. And especially after earlier today, before the game kicked off, Adam Schefter had released a report that said the Colts were leaning towards keeping Shane Steichen and firing Chris Ballard and promoting Ed Dodds as the new GM of the team. But Jim Irsay has decided against that, and they're running it back for next year, which has made a lot of Colts fans surprised. And I want to take a moment, and if you guys keep track of the show, you've noticed I've taken a little bit of a break, but I'm back now. We're going to have some major changes to the show very, very soon, including maybe some changes with some hosts and some other things and structure of the show, and I'm really excited for that. But I wanted to get into this one-word reaction, and I want you guys to comment your one word, and I really hope nobody is surprised. I hope nobody here is surprised. I think a lot of Colts fans are, but my word is expected. I honestly think that Gus Bradley is going to be the fall guy for the Colts. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think a lot of Colts fans wanted to see a lot of blood. But I think that we have a marriage in Indianapolis between Richardson, between Ballard, and between Steichen. And I think this is 2025 is the make or break year for all of them. We got to look at, we got to call it how we see it. This year was essentially Richardson's rookie year in 2024 because he got hurt so early in 23. And it was not a great year for Richardson. He had some high highs and he had some really, really, really low lows. And he was a roller coaster. I think that probably the logic that Jim Irsay is using, if I can put myself in the billionaire's shoes, and sometimes that sounds really nice, but if I could put myself in his shoes, he's probably thinking, Richardson's going to have a full off season to prepare and to practice and to work on his craft and to try to get his body right to stay healthy for a full season. And if let's just say if Ballard got fired this year and we brought in Ed Dodds and we don't clean house, then you still have the same head coach that guess who hired? Chris Ballard hired. And you still have the same quarterback that Chris Ballard drafted. And it's not really a true house cleaning. But if you can go through this year, 2025, and if Richardson doesn't take that leap, which we're not sure if he will, if he doesn't have that Josh Allen style leap, then the coach and the GM who wanted him drafted and said they could develop him have to be gone, and the quarterback's gone as well. So to me, I think that Irsay is giving them all one shot and then a fresh reset if they don't make the playoffs and if Richardson doesn't make a step forward. If I look at it that way, from that logic, I can see why Jim Irsay kept him. But that doesn't quell the animosity amongst the Colts fans who are saying, look, Ballard's had 8 years. He's had 8 years to make this Colts team a competitive football team. And by keeping Chris Ballard, this is the other side of the coin. By keeping Chris Ballard, you're essentially saying we're fine with mediocrity. We're fine with consistently just being just short of the playoffs. Not bad enough to get a good draft pick. Not good enough to make the playoffs. Not even win the playoffs, but to make the playoffs. That's what's leading to the frustration of Colts fans. So you see, there's the two sides there. The Andrew Luck retirement, obviously any GM is going to have some. I think that 8 years is a little skewed because the Andrew Luck retirement really threw like 3 years off of any GM's plan. But I do think that some fans are right when they say it feels like mediocrity is now tolerable. So we're going to have to see something from this Colts team this offseason to say that that's not the case. Gus Bradley's got to go. Maybe some of these players on this Colts roster that have become an issue, they've got to go too. I'm going to say it, Zaire Franklin, Pro Bowl caliber player, ship him out of town. Guys like that who I don't know, Mac, if he hit on it. If there is locker room cancers or guys who are late to meetings, I think the Colts have got to go be proactive and start letting heads roll. And Ballard's going to have to step up to the plate. I've called him bargain bin Ballard before, but he's going to have to step up to the plate, and he's going to have to make some legitimate moves this offseason because that seat is hot. It's got to be hot. And he's going to have to somehow win over the fan base because right now the Colts fans are frustrated. I'm curious what you guys think. Irsay electing to continue with continuity. My thought is because he wants to see Richardson one more year before completely cleaning ship. The Colts have really got to find a way to develop Anthony Richardson this offseason, and he's got to take a big step forward because if he doesn't, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a complete reset entering in 2026 season. Maybe for Arch Manning. Could you imagine that? I know we're a long ways away from that, but that would be interesting. A new GM, new head coach, and a new fresh quarterback, Arch Manning in Indy. Anyway, curious what you guys think. I appreciate you guys watching the show and everybody who's returned to watch after my little bit of a hiatus I took during the season. But thanks again for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. And I hate to say it, but I'm still a fan. Go Colts, baby.